Hey Narwhals, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. The difference between a slim person and a larger person might just be sauces, so be careful with what sauces you eat and plan accordingly. I work at Subway, and I've noticed a lot of overweight people come in and talk to me about how they want to lose weight, and then order a healthy sub, but smothered in mayo or chipotle, and they don't know why that they can't lose weight. They took a 360 calorie 6-inch sub and turned it into like 600-700 calories with the dressing. A family friend also has these twin daughters, and they come in sometimes to get food, and the slimmer daughter gets mustard, and the slightly overweight gets mayo. They pretty much eat the same things besides dressing. The slim one eats her chicken nuggets with nothing when we've eaten out together, and the other one eats hers with honey mustard or whatever. They are 14, and the slightly overweight one is starting to feel bad about her body because of teasing, and she just doesn't understand because she eats the same as her sister. And she does, but she's adding an extra 100 to 200 calories a day from dressings, which is all it takes to slowly but steadily gain weight. Now, I'm not saying never ever have mayo if you want it, but just remember to account for it elsewhere in your diet. The difference between normal people and obese is a lot, but the difference in eating habits between overweight and normal BMI is normally pretty small things. This is so true. Also, drinks do add a lot of calories. When I was eating unhealthy, I'd have Starbucks refreshers with lots of lemonade and sandwiches, slathered with mayo and ranch. I'd wonder why I was steadily gaining weight. One day, I opened my eyes, looked up the nutrition facts for all the sauces and juices I was consuming, and I was in such shock. I've cut out all sugar juices and caloric sauces, and I'm already starting to feel the difference. Drinks big time, especially alcohol. Whenever I talk to someone that is trying to lose weight, I always recommend they stop drinking alcohol as much as possible, maybe only special occasions or something that is planned out with friends as a treat. I had a friend of mine that drank a lot and wanted to lose weight, but he refused to quit drinking alcohol. He changed his diet up and was going to CrossFit 3 times a week, but because he was still drinking so much, he was barely losing any weight. I finally convinced him to stop for a month, and he was blown away at how fast the weight started to come off. This was my issue when I started my weight loss journey. I didn't track sauces, and I love mayo. I didn't understand why I wasn't losing weight until my mom suggested I weigh my normal serving of mayo. It was a shocking 500 calories. Even worse than that, I'd sometimes have it multiple times a day with different meals. Since then, I switched to a light mayo, and now I religiously track it. Sometimes I have regular mayo, but just a fraction of what I used to have, and always weigh it. I'm finally losing weight at a steady pace, and I honestly think that it has to do with decreasing my mayo intake. Pre-COVID-19, I went to a steakhouse with a friend. He said he had really been eating healthier and hoped to lose weight. I watched him dump 8 little containers of ranch dressing onto his garden salad. That could have been as much as 1,520 calories. My boyfriend won't eat salad that isn't drowning in ranch. I told him it's probably better to just eat something else in that case. There was a great post one time about someone who realized they hated salads, so instead of trying to mask the salad with an ocean of dressing, they just gave up on them and ate roasted veggies a lot. I think that's the beauty of healthy eating. If you don't like a particular fruit or vegetable or preparation of such, you can just try something else. You don't have to eat quinoa, oatmeal, kale, brown rice, coconut oil, whatever. You just don't. Plenty of amazing options out there. Thanks for sharing. I gained about 10 pounds in 6 months doing this exact thing. It's quarantine. Why not get dipping sauce, extra slice of cheese, or a bag of rag chips and not reduce fat? Math? An extra 200 calories a day? That's all it took for me to gain it back and feel so tired. Those choices sneak up on you. To counter this, you just have to cut out 200 calories a day below maintenance to lose 10 pounds in 6 months. It's not fast, but it beats staying the same or slowly gaining 5 to 10 pounds every year, and it's easier to stick with. This is one of the clever side effects of the Keto Club. You are so terrified that any sort of restaurant sauce, dressing, or dip will have a microgram of sugar in it, even most mayo, that you just order everything without sauce. Also, 100 surplus calories per day comes out to 10 pounds a year. So yes, I agree. Sauces and condiments can definitely sneak up on you, so to speak. It's also important to remember that food that fits your goals doesn't have to be bland, boring, and flavorless, etc. At least for me. If the difference between enjoying my turkey burger versus suffering through it is a tablespoon of mustard, then I'll probably take the mustard. But I totally vibe this post. It is so easy to not think about how many calories your toppings can add. This is very true. We always talk about sugary soft drinks, but sauces are the same. Way more sauces are cream, mayo, or sugar-based than we realize. And freaking Chick-fil-A sauce, mayo, and Polynesian sauce, sugar. That said, I don't endorse judging people based on occasional interactions at Subway, not at all implying that this was mean-spirited or making a generalization about the original poster, but we should give others grace on those decisions. Everyone on the subreddit, pun not intended, knows how difficult it is to give up or ration foods that we love. I have a question, Subway worker person. Why, when I ask for mayo, do you go back and forth 50 billion times with the friggin' squeeze bottle? I have to specifically ask for 1 pass of mustard and 1 pass of light mayo, not a little bit, because that's 3 passes apparently. It's supposed to be 3 passes of sauces unless otherwise stated. If they are doing more than 3, they need to be retrained. I always do 1 when someone says a little bit. Most Subway employees don't care though, to be honest. I got stuck on a plateau for the past month, and I had to take a complete, honest evaluation of my intake of calories, and so I've been adding a teaspoon of honey to my tea, but just a little bit. But I drink 5 to 6 cups, 14-20 milliliters of apple cinnamon turmeric tea daily, and I was essentially drinking an extra 500 to 600 calories. So plain green tea is the only thing I'm drinking for the next few months, besides just good plain old water of course. I started tracking my calories maybe a year ago, and I had no idea that ranch dressing would steal almost a meal's worth of calories every time I ate it. And ditto, I've been calorie counting one way or another for over 10 years, and I'm still amazed every day at how many calories are in common foods that I eat. Caloric density is just amazing, in a bad way. A normal ham sandwich, 2 sliced bread, 1 sliced cheese, 5 pieces of thin ham is like 600 calories. 600 calories, and that's not even a full meal. WTF. It's a symptom of a larger issue. Ordering mayo is one thing, but I bet they have other habits, whether it's eating unhealthy sauces, to ordering caloric empty foods, to sedentary behavior. I would say this too, metabolic makeup where one craves the sauces and the other body is not craving them. Just keep track of the salt and sugar that you put into your diet and you'll notice a big difference, especially when you realize how much sugar and salt is in your life. Breads, sauces, soft drinks, etc. You may not feel full, but you sure as hell put the stuff in your body, so it's going somewhere. 1 soda alone carries 35 to 45 grams of sugar. The daily value advised by health orgs state 25 to 30 grams as the max. You can see how this is a recipe for disaster. My mother could never comprehend why I told her she can't expect to lose weight if she smothers her salad in dressing, because I use a generous portion of dressing on my salads too. As she uses ranch, 145 kcal per 30 milliliter, or Thousand Island, 110 kcal per 30 milliliter, and doesn't measure it out. She just floods the salad with it. I use a brand of diet raspberry vinaigrette, of 5 kcal per 30 milliliter, and I make sure I don't exceed 60. Even when explaining Seiko and the difference in healthfulness, and she still fails to pick up what I'm putting down. I think she's doing it on purpose. My sister does this a lot. She eats really healthy, but she adds mayo or butter to everything multiple times a day, and she can't lose weight. I've told her this, but she won't listen and keeps getting frustrated because she doesn't lose any weight. The rest of my family do the same, and they're overweight too. I'm the only slimmer one, and I eat way more than all of them. I just don't consume mayo, ketchup, butter, and absurdly amounts of olive oil. This is why a food scale is so powerful. 1 tablespoon of lead won't weigh as much as 1 tablespoon of sawdust. Same goes for food. A caloric density has likely been quantified for most of the foods we eat, unless it's homemade, and there are calculators for that, but you should only calculate by weight, not volume. The only safe thing to calculate by volume is unaltered liquids, because liquids don't compress. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. Please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the Day. I thought I'd update since I lost 10 more pounds since I last posted. Face gains.